Welcome to Sarah Talk Solutions. You can drop me an email at theblog@sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can also jump on my socials as well to find out my whereabouts and what I'm up to. Best IG account is actor_Sarah23. I am on there 24/7 with all the latest activities that I'm all over this great city of LA. You're listening to Sarah Talk Solutions. You can drop me an email, theblog@sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You're listening to Sarah Talk Solutions. You can drop me an email, theblog@sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm Sarah B. and I'm your host. So sit back and let me take you on an impactful journey as I introduce you to today's new brand of American hero. Guys, I had an amazing day. I am still understanding, or I'm still trying to get my head around how big this city is. I'm loving that this city is so big, but sometimes it can be just a little overwhelming, especially this little Aussie girl who's trying to get her way or trying to get her bearings in this big city. It is like, for example, driving. I thought, I'll be fine. I have plenty of time, but it's amazing how, okay, so 10 miles or 20 miles, it's about 25, maybe almost 30 Ks, or 30 kilometers. And it baffles me how long it takes just to get from one city to the next. Like here I am thinking I'm shortcutting, or I'm thinking that, I got my head around, I got plenty of time. Nope. There's always something happening with constructions, unfortunately accidents, traffic jams, bottleneck traffic jams. But never mind. I had a great day. I have a good show that I love to share and engage with. You can drop me an email, theblog@sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You're listening to Sarah Talk Solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, you've tuned into a bit of a different type of show. Our goal on this show is to shine light on American open wounds, showcase those urgently attempting to stop the bleeding, and hopefully inspire some folks to uncover opportunities to do the same. Hi, I'm Sarah B, and I'm your host. You can drop me an email, theblog@sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You're listening to Sarah Talk Solutions. You can drop me an email at theblog.sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio every Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Guys, we are going to go ahead and, I'm going to, highlight or address the meaning of catfish. When I hear that, I think of catfishing, like the show, the program that they have, which was produced back in 2010. It was a documentary film, Catfish, that comes a TV version, which follows the journey of couples that form an online relationship but never met in person. So to me, when I hear catfish, that's the first things that comes to mind. But these filmmakers, who are actually, own online love drama, was a subject of the Catfish, which was, episodes started back in November of 2012. The network was MTV, but Catfish, based on, reality. So, it's a TV series, search the truth and behind internet most suspicious relationships, where the truth is stranger than fiction. And yes, I've watched a few of those episodes, and it doesn't surprise me. Well, it does. It definitely has the shock factor, but it just makes you wonder what lengths or what extremes people get into or get involved. Like, I don't understand. Like, there's a lot of time and a lot of effort that's put in this. But hey, the new version of Catfish has a whole different meaning. So, the TV show, often shortened to Catfish, is an American reality-based documentary television series, airing on MTV about truth and lies about relationships, which, it's a lot, the sheer fact that I kind of like, wow, it started back in 2012. The definition, the meaning, the meaning of catfish is any order, of people of online dating, Like there's an a UK version, there's a US version. I'm pretty sure there's an Australian version, but there's so many different types of version. Guys, go ahead and look up this show. It's been, on forever. It's a reality MTV. The good old Catfish, which is online dating. I'm not a fan of it, but hey, there's a world out there and people unfortunately get sucked into it. Go ahead and watch it, which is on MTV. You're listening to Sarah Talk Solutions. You can drop me an email, theblog.sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio, every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You're listening to Sarah Talk Solutions. You can drop me an email, theblog.sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio, every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm Sarah B, and I'm your host. Well, catfishing or catfish, I'm thinking like the live fish, like the food fish, but there is a reality show that they made back, 2012. It's a reality. It's about online dating. It makes you wonder the extreme lengths of people will go to online dating. To me, it's a little scary. You know what I mean? I know personally, I've done long distance relationship and it's extremely hard. You know what I mean? Because you're in two different countries, different time zones. You're living two different lives. But apparently, it's still going on. It's the Catfish, the TV show. It's a reality, which is, you can actually watch it on Hulu. But I remember just watching on MTV, and it just really just blew my mind. Still blows my mind to this day. But hey, people love it and people enjoy it. And hey, reality, you can't beat reality shows. And this one's been around for some time. You're listening to Sarah Talk Solutions. You can drop me an email, theblogsarahtalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio, every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Guys, we're talking about Catfish, the show, the reality show. I'd love for you to drop me an email or drop me, a text to tell me, what's your thoughts, or have you experienced any online, or have you experienced Catfish? My head and my mind is all about the food itself, but then I was introduced to it, and I just thought, yeah, I remember that drama series. I remember that online dating, which is a TV show. The TV show, often, shortened to Catfish, is an American reality-based documentary television series airing on MTV, about the truth and the lies of online dating. And it's a little scary because you just don't know what people's capabilities is. It is just, a little crazy for my liking. It's, young filmmakers documented their colleagues' budding online friendship with young women and her family, which leads to unsuspected series of discoveries. So this online dating, or this Catfish, it's a whole nother world. And it's sadly but true, it's out there. It's just it's next level. MTV Catfish. It's a TV show brings couples together which interact solely through the internet. They're supposed to be falling in love, but what will happen, it shocks you and surprises you. Because I know me as a person, I sit back and I thought, nah, this can't be happening. This can't be real. But these are real situations and real facts. But hey, fortunately, people out there, they do it. It's a little scary, but that's just how it is on the online world, or online dating world. You're listening to Miss Sarah B. You can drop me an email, theblogsarahtalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio, every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
There are many stories of chivalry.
You're listening to Sarah Talk Solutions. You can drop me an email, theblogsarahtalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio, every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm Sarah B, and I'm your host. So, listening to the good old Catfish and the MTV reality show, guys, if you ever been catfish or ever been caught up on the online dating, by all means, drop me an email. I'd love to hear. I would love to bring you on air. The email, which is theblogsarahtalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio, every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Guys, I'm Sarah B, and I'm your host. I have a great show. As always, sit back, drop me an email, drop me a text. You can also jump on my socials as well, which is Aussie_Sarah_LA. You're listening to Sarah Talk Solutions. You can drop me an email, theblogsarahtalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio. Every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Hi, I'm Sarah B, and I'm your host. Sit back and let me take you into an impactful journey as I introduce you to today's new brand of American hero. You can drop me an email, theblogsarahtalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio, every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Guys, we're talking about Catfish. Remember that show, that reality show? It's still on. It's still on the good old MTV. I know they've got an updated version, or you can hop on Hulu and subscribe there. But hey, I remember watching that and just like my jaws just dropped because I'm just like, I cannot believe, why would someone do that? But catfish meaning someone is using a fake identity to trick you to believing your real online friendship or romance with them. Once you trust the catfish, you may embarrass, humiliate, or upset you by sharing your secrets online or revealing to others that you feel or fall for their trick, which is scary because I don't want to be in that situation. But hey, as they say, love is blind, but it's scary because I am at this day and age, nope, I couldn't do it. No way. Imagine that, someone tricking you. You're having this real online friendship, but anyone could be there. I remember the good old days when you used to just, online chat. You know what I mean? Like, I remember doing that, you know what I mean? And I just knew it was just a lot of fakeness. Anyone would just come on and just pretend whatever, but I would want to meet them in person, and it was a complete different person, and that's why I don't jump or go onto any of those dating apps because no, I don't want surprises. I'm good. My days and my life is pretty full, but this catfish meaning, using or fake identity to trick you into believing your real online friendship or romance with them. Once you'll trust the catfish, they may embarrass you, humiliate you, upset you by sharing your secrets online or revealing to others and fell for their tricks and their lies. It's just betrayal, next level, betrayal 101. No thanks, not interested. You're listening to me, Sarah B, and I'm your host. You can drop me an email, theblogsarahtalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. My show's on every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can jump on my socials, Aussie_Sarah LA. Guys, I am talking about catfish. If you have a story, drop me an email, drop me a text. I love to hear what you guys got to say.
You say jump, how high? Cross my heart.
To Sarah Talk Solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, you've tuned into a bit of a different type of show. Today I'm talking about catfish, which is a real thing. People unfortunately get into it or they fall for it. What are the 3 signs that you are being catfish? Please, by all means, drop me an email, theblogsarahtalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio, every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So, what are the 3 signs that you've been catfish? How do you spot a catfish? They want to know your personal details, conversations that get personal very quickly. You can't find trace of them online. They ask for money. Ooh, no, not for me. They ask you to keep your relationship secret. They avoid face-to-face contact, and their stories just don't add up. So yeah, those are the telltale signs of the good old catfishing. And no, not for me. But if you've had this situation or if this happened to you, by all means, drop me an email, theblogsaratalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio. Every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can jump on my socials, Aussie_Sarah_LA. You know, talking about the good old catfish, you know, what are the signs of being catfish? You know, this is how you can spot them. You know, they want to know your personal details. Conversations get personal very quickly. You can't find any trace of them online. They ask for money. They ask you to keep your relationship secret. They avoid face-to-face contact. And their stories just don't add up. Well, you know, I would love to hear if you can drop me an email, theblogsaratalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio. Every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The best digital radio station in the nation. Welcome and enjoy. You're listening to Sarah Talks Solutions. You can drop me an email, theblogsaratalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio. Every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm Sarah B. and I'm your host. Sit back and let me take you to an impactful journey as I introduce you to today's new brand of American hero. Guys, by all means, if you know or come across someone who's been catfish, by all means, drop me an email, drop me a text. I would love to hear from you and I would love to bring you on the air. You know, what are examples of catfishing? You know, asking for money. Ooh, that's a big telltale sign. Sometimes that's maybe a good thing for me because, you know, I don't have any. But at the same time, I'm just like, you know, come on. It's crazy. Catfish often, you know, try to trick their victims into giving them money. Once they gain victims' trust, catfishers play on their emotions so they get their payday. They may fake an emergency while urgently need money to take care of a family member medical costs. Lie, lies, lies, and more lies. Woo, that's a little scary. You know, what does it mean to, catfish someone? So, you know, catfishing refers to when a person takes information and images, you know, typical from other people. They use them to create a new identity for themselves. In some cases, a catfisher steals another individual's complete identity, including their image, date of birth, and geographical location, and pretend it's their own. Now, that's some scary stuff, because to have someone to do that, no, that doesn't sit well with me. By all means, guys, if you had this situation, drop me an email, theblogsaratalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio. Every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You're listening to the best digital radio station in the nation. You're listening to Sarah Talk Solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, you tune in a bit of a different type of show. You can drop me an email, theblogsaratalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio. Every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Guys, I'm talking about catfish. Have you ever been catfish, or do you know anyone who's been catfish? By all means, let me, by dropping me an email, theblocksaratalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio, every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. How do you prove you're not being catfished? And that's a tricky one. That is so tricky. So if you suspect that you're dealing with a catfish, use an online reverse image search to find out if the person photos or anyone else online profiles. You can also search their messages online, take any particular unique or romantic lines that they've written to, and search to see if they pop up anywhere else. So that's a good way to kind of find out, online reverse image search. So that's good for protection, but something like that, I'm all about, if anything's really important, I always like to watermark it or trademark it, because especially when I was on the strike, I was meeting all these amazing people, but I obviously watermarked, because I was meeting some big, important people, and I didn't want someone to steal my images. I didn't want anyone to steal, this is me. Like, as I said, this is my face, as we all know, the good old AI, meeting, the good old CEO, and the presidents of, SAG and all that kind of stuff. So that's a lot of information out there that anyone can use and pretend that it's actually you, but it's actually not. Guys, by all means, drop me an email, theblocksaratalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio, every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm Sarah B, and I'm your host. You can also, listen to me every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You are listening to me, which is Sarah B, the best, host in, the digital radio station in the nation. By all means, you can jump online and you can listen to us digital radio 24/7, which is theblockradio.com, and we're on 24/7. We have all different styles, different genres, different talks, all different things that we are talking about. But hey, by all means, drop me an email, theblocksaratalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio, every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm Sarah B, and I'm your host.
Welcome again to the Roadcast.
You're listening to Sarah Talk Solutions. You can drop me an email, theblocksaratalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio, every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm Sarah B, and I'm your host. Welcome to Sarah Talk Solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, you tune into a bit of a different type of show. Our goal on our show is to shine the light on American open wounds, showcase those urgently attempting to stop the bleeding, and hopefully inspire some folks to uncover opportunities to do the same. I'm Sarah B, and I'm your host. You can jump on my socials, which is Aussie_Sarah_LA. You can drop me an email at theblocksaratalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only, the best digital radio station in the nation, The Block 105 Radio, every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You're listening listening to Sarah Talk Solutions. You can drop me an email at theblog.sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You're listening to Sarah Talk Solutions. You can drop me an email at the blog, sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to one and only The Block 105 Radio every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Today's show is I'm talking about catfish. I will discuss a little further on about the food catfish, but I'm actually right now quite intrigued and taken back by the good old catfish of the show itself. It is just crazy how this reality, how people unfortunately get sucked into this catfish show. As you know, it's an online, people that, online fantasy pretending they're falling in love. Who is most likely to be catfished? Men are more likely to be catfish predators, and they're also more likely to be a victim of catfishing. So 64% of women over 40 are most likely target of predators, while 24% of all catfishers pose as a different gender. Catfishing scams involve every age group from 18 to 70, with every group targeted. Whew! That is scary. That is scary. Guys, if you ever been catfished, by all means, drop me an email at theblog.sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm Sarah B, and I'm your host. You're listening to Sarah Talk Solutions. You can drop me an email at theblog.sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
This is the very beginning. It's not perfect, but it's the beginning of figuring out the baseline for how everything should sound.
What microphone are you using? Okay, on that channel, you're bragging out again. Yeah, on that channel,
You're listening to Sarah Talk Solutions. You can drop me an email at theblog.sarahtalks.com. Drop me an email at theblog.sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. listening to Sarah Talk Solutions, and I'm your host. Sit back and let me take you to an impactful journey as I introduce you to today's new brand of American hero. Guys, I've been talking and discussing about Catfish. Now, as you know, there was a reality show which was on MTV, which was a little scary because you'll be surprised what people would do, to fall in love or, find predators, for money, which is pretty scary. How do you outsmart a catfish? That's great. I like this because it's like these strategies to outsmart a catfish, 7 strategies to outsmart the bastards. So, perform a background check. First thing, try playing detective. Look up criminal records. Check marriage and divorce records. Perform reverse phone number research. Confirm the location. Use a reverse image research, and consider a private investigator. That's a little scary, but hey, sometimes you need to do that just to protect, but nothing beats meeting in person. Outsmarting a catfish, I just know that unfortunately they know how to con you. They know how to do it, and they always seem to win, and they know how to will you in. Just be careful out there. By all means, keep your guard up. Don't fall into their crazy traps. Don't believe their stories and their lies, because that's how you get catfish, and it's not a good place to be in, especially when it comes to money, because these people, they don't care. They've got no remorse at all. You can drop me an email at theblog, sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio, every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You're listening to Sarah Talk Solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, you've tuned in a bit of a different type of show. Today's topic is about catfishing, the craziness of what it's like out there where people are predators. And it is scary because I don't want you to fall into that trap. You know what I mean? There is strategies to actually outsmart them. 7 proven strategies to outsmart catfish itself. I just don't want anyone to fall for it. That's what I'm trying to get at. 7 proven strategies to outsmart a catfish. Why people catfish. To beat the catfish at its own game, it is crucial to understand what it is. A catfish is a person who fakes their identity online in order to trick someone specific. Thanks to the internet, people are easily hide behind the screen. Online, you can be anyone you choose, aiming to get what you want, until you get busted. On a simpler note, catfish may be altered on false photos to get a date. However, it is more complex scenario known as romance scam. A person pretends to be in love or show fake affection and care, a long distance relationship to gain something from the target. For fun, there's a few reasons why people might get catfish. Sometimes it could be just out of boredom. Wow. Not feeling great about themselves or being unhappy in their current relationships. For their folks, catfishing can be the only way to feel the thrill of a new relationship without commitment, and effort is usually required. It can be financially motives. One of the biggest reasons people catfish is financial gain. It's about something they are enjoying someone else's company. Some catfishers start off planning a con their victims, while the others might even realize they can profit from a fabricated relationship. 7 red flags to spot a catfish. Number 1, they quit to profess love. 2, they seem like a dream come true. 3, compliments are their go-to. 4, they stick to free chat platforms. 5, they want to keep your relationship under wraps. 6, they suddenly need money. 7, they always have an excuse not to meet. Whoo! So, best strategies to outsmart the bastards: perform a background check, look up the criminal records, check for marriage and divorce records, perform a reverse phone number search, confirm their location, use a reverse image search, consider private investigator. There are so many ways where you can catch them, but please don't fall into the traps of being catfish. You're listening to Sarah B, and I'm your host. You can drop me an email, theblog@sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio, every Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You're listening to Sarah Talk Solutions. You can drop me an email, theblog@sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio, every Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Guys, we're talking about catfishing, or catfish, long distance, fake relationships online. Wrapping it up, navigating the online world can be daunting, right? Figuring out who's on the other end of the screen can be challenging. The key thing is to remember, when looking for warning signs, hold on to your money when dealing with strangers, and they're super careful about sharing personal information online. Armed with all these tools and tips, you are now ready to outwit any catfish that comes your way. Spread the word to your friends and family, and let all the help cut down the number of people who fall for the catfish tricks. Guys, look, I'm not a fan of it. By all means, if it's happened to you, drop me an email. My email address is theblog@sarahtalks.com. You can drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to one and only The Block 105 Radio, every Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You're listening to Sarah Talk Solutions. You can drop me an email, theblog@sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block radio station, every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Listening to Sarah Talk Solutions. You can drop me an email, theblog@sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio, every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Guys, I'm talking about the good old catfish, where I am just making sure everyone is aware and hopefully they don't get conned. It is a real thing. It is scary out there. There's, I don't know what goes through people's mind. But hey, unfortunately, just how it is. Catfishing, it's a real thing. I don't like it when people use their information, they use images, fake accounts, which is a little scary. But just be careful and be super cautious what goes on there, because it's a real thing, and I don't want anyone to get conned with these crazy people out there because they have no remorse whatsoever. So guys, by all means, just stay wits and stay, just thick skin. That's what I'm trying to say. To Sarah Talk Solutions. You can drop me an email at theblock@sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm Sarah B and I'm your host. I have had a good show talking about catfish, long distance relationship, which is a real thing. Now let's turn into a better and a good topic where we like food. Well, I like food. I had my first catfish sandwich. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what to expect. Never heard of it. Oh no, I did hear it, but I just didn't know what it was. And I must say, I was really, really, really impressed. This amazing soul food kind of food. And I was like, okay, what's this all about? But they actually catered for an event that I actually attended today, which I was like, oh yeah, I was impressed. So it's called Harold and Bell, which their website is haroldandbells.com. It is a New Orleans in Los Angeles. And I must say, I had the best catfish sandwich. I'm really, 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 really impressed. Like, as I said, I didn't think nothing of it, but I had this I had it as like a late lunch, early, like a brunch lunch kind of thing. And I'm still full. I didn't eat the bread, but I had the catfish and it was yum, yum, yum. Oh my goodness. I'm actually following them on Instagram as well. So I'm just going to go through their yummy, yummy food. Oh my gosh, the recipes they have. Invite an experience of New Orleans through our family recipes. Indulge your taste buds and enjoy all the flavors. Oh boy. And I'm just looking now as we speak, just the full menu. Just looking at the pictures is making my mouth water. But I have all these things and I'm like, what is this? Char, broil oysters, fried oysters, jumbo fried shrimp, fried crab cakes, fried chicken wingettes, catfish nuggets. Oh my gosh, Louisiana hot links, oyster mushroom appetizers. Oh yeah. H&B famous gumbo. Woo! I'm just like as I said, my mouth is just watering just reading their website and just going through it. I am just impressed because I'm like, what is this? It's another world. This is like, oh my gosh, there's desserts. Oh yeah. And there's a happy hour. Oh my God. Yeah. Happy hour. I might have to go there on the happy hour. That is just like, happy hour. I'm all about the happy hour. Oh my goodness. And you know what? The food looks great. I am impressed by it all. Guys, by all means, drop me an email, theblock@sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio. I'm talking about Harold's and Bell's best food or soul food, and I'm looking at the online. Yeah, I'm actually looking at it where it's making my mouth water, because I'm just like, this is yum, yum, yum. Good, wholesome, just good, hearty food. A little bit of the history itself. Harold's and Belle's. It's a New Orleans restaurant, in September of 1969. Harold, Harold Sr., along with his wife, Mary Bell, opened a Harold's and Belle's. It was been a dream of theirs to have their own place with friends and family back home in New Orleans, where gather, talk, old times, shoot pool, and just socialize. The kitchen was small, but the menu consisted of po' boy sandwiches, red beans, rice, and gumbo served only on Fridays. Ooh! After 1979, that's when Harold passed, his wife Denise took over the ownership of the restaurant. Unlike his father, who enjoyed playing pool and the bar atmosphere, the younger Harold preferred the finer dining experience with a linen tablecloths and candlelights. Having a passion for cooking, Harold Jr. introduced several new items to the menu, including a version of shrimp scampi, shrimp creole, crawfish, clam chowder. He even offered gumbo every day of the week. In 1984, Harold and Denise brought in partners, Al and Sue. Together they expanded the restaurant from 12 tables to 35 dining tables and triple size of the kitchen. Guys, by all means, go visit them and go support them. If you want the good old Louisiana, New Orleans, yummy, yummy, yummy food, oh my goodness, it's just been, 50 years in LA, the anniversary. I'm just looking, and it's mouth-watering. Well, I had a taste of their tuna, tuna. Well, I call it tuna, but they call it crab cakes, or not crab cakes. There's a special word for it, but a special name. But it was just like tuna fish sandwiches, and I'm just like, huh? I don't understand it. Like, I'm still understanding. Like, it just tasted so good. It just kind of made my mouth water, and I've just never tried it before. I just didn't know. Oh, catfish. They call it catfish, which was really, really, really yummy. Guys, by all means, drop me an email, theblog@sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio. Every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You're listening to the best digital radio station in the nation, The Block 105 Radio. You're listening to Sarah Talk Solutions. By all means, drop me an email if you have your favorite taste of catfish sandwiches. I had my first catfish sandwich today, and it was yum, yum, yum. I did not hold back. It was actually from a restaurant, Harold's and Belle's. They're the ones that actually catered for the event that I had today. Pretty good soul food. Oh my gosh, I'm still full, from it, because it's very hearty. It's just amazing. If you want to know the details, or you want to make a reservations, by all means, you can jump online. They're called Harold and Belle's. Their hours are Sunday to Thursday from 11:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. Fridays and Saturdays 11:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. By all means, you can jump on their socials. You can make a phone call. The best, you can actually contact them. As such, you can jump online and make a reservation through that. You can jump on their socials. Facebook and on Instagram. By all means, which, you know, it's amazing. Good food. I am very impressed by it all. I am going to go in person and go check it out because I am really like still full. Wow. But you guys, you must go visit and go check it out. They've been around for 50 years. Good, hearty, good food. You know, Harold's and Bell's, New Orleans and LA. Go ahead and make an order, or go in person. They have amazing recipes. Just you know, go in, check out, taste different menus. Oh boy, I just had the best catfish sandwich where I was like, whoa. You know, serving authentic New Orleans cuisine in Los Angeles community is for over 50 years. And yeah, it's just yummy and more yummy and more yummy. Guys, you're listening to Sarah Talks Solutions. You can drop me an email, theblog, sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio, every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Listening to Sarah Talk Solutions. Guys, I had an amazing show today. We talked about the good old food of catfish. I had the first catfish sandwich, which I'm still in awe. I'm still like full from it all. It's so yummy. But hey, I will eat it again because it's so good. By all means, guys, jump on their website or go in person, make an order. They're called Harold's and Bell's Restaurants. Which they are located more, I know they're in LA. I'm not even going to try to explain locations because I'm hopeless when it comes to things like that. But by all means, you can jump online, go check them out, go visit them because I'm all about supporting local businesses. I love, you know, the community. I love all that good stuff. By all means, drop me an email, theblog, drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio, every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. To Sarah Talk Solutions. Guys, you can drop me an email anytime, theblog, sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio, every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm Sarah B, and I'm your host. Guys, I hope that everyone is out there, you know, looking after themselves. If you have any horrible, you know, dark thoughts, please dial national line, which is 988, just, you know, for prevention. If you feel isolated or lonely, by all means, it's a free service. Please don't be ashamed. There's a service where it's out there just to make things and talk and have things lighter. Guys, by all means, I had a great show just talking about the food catfish, which is yummy. I had my first catfish sandwich, which I'm still full. I'm going to be talking about it for days. But I absolutely loved it. I enjoyed it. Guys, by all means, get out there, support local restaurants, you know, small businesses, because they need us like we need them. By all means, drop me an email, theblog, sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio, every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also, you can jump on my socials, which is Aussie_Sarah_LA. Guys, stay soon, stay safe, stay plug, and stay current. Till next show. Have a good night and stay safe. Bye, peoples, and have a good day.
For those of you who dream of a world where music and podcasts live together in perfect harmony, now, for the first time, Electricast gives you a magical compilation, Pod Till You Drop, Volume 1, where we give you the best in tunes and the best in podcasts. Feast your ears and hear the culture. Available now wherever you listen to music.
Ever thought about starting your own podcast?
Do you have a business or a message you want to share with the world?
Well, now it's easier than ever with Electricast. Hi, I'm Mark Netter.
And I'm Peter Rafelson. We're the founders of Electricast Media.
Whether you want to start a new podcast or already have one, join Electricast to grow your audience, monetize your content, and build your community.
With our simple sign-up, you get free promotion, world-class analytics, premium ads, and personal support.
Go to electricast.com and join our community today.
Electricast. Transform your influence.
Electricast.